welcome along. This is Virtual Farmer, and we've got a new map released for Farming Simulator 25. This is FrechDachs. It is a 4x map for PC and Mac only, and it has over 200 fields, 27 forest areas, 5 building areas. We've got a small starting farm, which we'll have a look at in a moment. 18 sell points, 7 purchase points. There's free water about it, and we've got a whole load of paintable ground textures added as well. 22 in total. So yeah, this is a big map. We're gonna have a drive around it in a minute. First though, let's have a look at the PDA, and you can begin to get an idea for the size of this map. We've got quite a lot of bits all around it. I need to go into basically the hotspots on here and just try to see how far apart all of the hotspots are. We've got one right at the bottom there. We've got one right there. We've got a lot around this area here. We've got one right at the top there. And then we've got our main farm and everything back this sort of way. In fact, right by the shop, which is where we are at the moment. There's a whole load of sell points and things. We've got cheapest field I could find is up here, field 103, farmland 103. That is 84,663, and its opposite is actually the opposite corner of the map, and that's farmland 127, and that seems to be 1.7 million. So a massive range in the cost of fields. In fact, field 13. In fact, there it is. I just spotted that as I was coming back up. Field 13 at 1.9 million, nearly 2 million is the most expensive field. So that's quite a range of price in the fields on here. As far as other options go, we've got no cattle or animal pastures to start with. Production chains, there again, this is another map that seems to be completely devoid of any production chains, which they are very much, certainly of my game at the moment, production chains are a big part, and it's disappointing, especially in a map of this size, to see nothing integrated into it. And you know what, unlike Palmerston, where for them to fit in so much, they'd need to be a configured and made for a British map. There are European productions that could have been placed in here. So we'll go around, we'll see if there's any town areas. I'm not sure we do have a particular town around here. We've just got things a little bit sparsely placed out. Even the shop is in the middle of fields. So we don't seem to have a town area here at all. But I am a little bit disappointed off the get-go to see, especially on such a huge map, no production chains placed as part of the start of as our starting point. It's a little bit weird. We've got a very empty shop here. I think this is from. Oh wow! So we've seen this in a few games. Or a few bits recently, or last few versions of Farm Sim. This was definitely in 19, I want to say, when we first had No Man's Land is where I remember this. So I don't exactly know where this is from, but this has definitely been in 19 that we've had that shop. So yeah, that's looking very sparse. The map itself looks like it has a good amount of detail in it. If I bring it up and let's see where we are, I kind of want to turn. Oh wow, we are up the top here. So I'm not quite sure what that shop is down the other way, but we're gonna pop up here then, and we will pop to the top of the map and see if we can get up there and swing round. I want to end up back at the farm. So this is being such a large map. We're not going to be able to get to all of it, I don't think. We're going to end up not quite making it right to the top maybe. What have we got? We've got, yeah, we've got an item right up on the top left that is going to be hard for us to get round and get up to. Although we could head out that way first. There's quite the network of roads here. So we'll head up this way. Yeah, there's around everything else. The roads are nice and clean. They're looking fantastic. We've got a nice amount of trees on here. There's a nice random placement to the bushes all around the side. So it's a nicely detailed map in that sense. It does feel a little empty to begin with. It's my first impression with this. And what we've got here is a fuel station. So yeah, we'll spin this round a bit. Yeah, this is good. We've got a sell point here. Oh, is that a gas sell point? That's cool. So having things like, if there's a gas sell point on here, that's something that's a little bit different. And I want different. I want to see, you know, the bits in these maps that really make me go, okay, this is great farming. Farming, obviously, for any map is farm sim is the minimum. I'm loving that forestry is getting more of an emphasis on maps that I've seen so far from FS25. I do hope that we are going to get maps with more productions in them, because they add to the life of the map, really, and that's a really cool side of things, is to have that. Let's go around here. And we'll head up this way. The forestry area, actually, I'm really liking that. If we have a look at that as we're passing it, again, the ground isn't completely uniform. There's a little bit of texture and change, and there's some we've got various random bits of foliage in there. I think I'd like to see a little bit of variety, especially maybe a little bit of grass in some of the places where the sunlight's hitting. But in general, I'm liking that. It's got to be a lot of trees on this map as well. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. It is quite a pretty map. There's a lot of color to it, which is good. I'm very much liking that. And this is the thing with a 4X map. Something that doesn't seem very far can be really quite a distance. But we have made it up to this point up here. We are near the edge of the map, and there's no area really that I've seen that kind of makes me notice I'm at the edge of the map. I wonder if I go into the forestry, how difficult. I can kind of see through there that the map drops at the edge, but that is not obvious while I would just be running around and playing on the map. We've got a sell point up this corner, and it's a little supermarket in the middle of nowhere. Fantastic. Yeah, it kind of adds to that little bit of sparseness for me. It's hard to put my finger on. It doesn't feel like there's a huge amount of life in it at the moment. We'll see as we go around the map, but certainly we've not really seen many cars. We've not seen many people. The shop doesn't have anything in it. There's a little bit of a sparse feeling to it at the moment, but as I said, that might change. We're going to run all the way along this road at the edge of the map now, because we are heading back towards where we started. We're going to go up and round the top, and at the bottom of 207 we have another point to have a look at. Now, if you're after a map where you just have a ton of fields and can just do a massive farm, I think this would fit in for you. It's not got a lot of variation in the elevation from what we've seen so far either. So if you wanted a map where you could come in and you could have a whole load of people on it, who want separate farms and want to be able to set up and build their own farms, this map really feels like that kind of gameplay map. There's a lot of space for people to come in. I mean, a 4X map always gives you a lot of space, but there's a lot of space for you to come in, create your own farm, and go from there. We've got an RWE here. Is this so this is another shop? Yes, another sell point. It's isn't this, I want to say this is base game, but yeah. Oh, and is this where our, it's really interesting to see where everybody places the NPCs. So they've placed one of the NPCs right out the edge here in this. So we've got another supermarket again in the middle of nowhere. So there's nothing really placed around this, adding again to that feeling of isolation. So yeah, everything on here kind of feels like it's placed away like that, and that's very strange to me. I'm guessing it's to give more space on this map for farming, but there's I think I'd have quite liked a little town or something with some of these bits in the middle of the map. Right, I've closed the map down, and we want to go, I think we want to go south from here. I think we're going to end up going up to the top of, or going to a road that's away and at the edge of the map otherwise. So we'll work our way down here. We're working our way back down to the shop now, and this will give us a good place to sort of center ourselves a little bit. We'll then head out to the side and see where we are. Again, I'm liking the placement of all the trees. I'm liking the look of all the fields. The fields look decent sizes and everything. That variation in the field size is good. So we've got the shop here. So this is where we started. We're going to head down the side here because we've got a few sell points at the side of the shop here. We've got this big area here that has what looks like, oh, this is the animal market. Okay, so we've got slurry sell point, manure sell point, and we've got animal purchase in here, and that's where Katie is standing, which makes sense. And then out of here we want to head ideally this way, I think, if this road goes where I want it to, which it doesn't. So we're going to have to swing back and up towards field 212, or farmland ID 212, because there's 200 fields, but that doesn't mean there's 200 farmland IDs. There's all of that forestry around the edge as well that counts into that. And it's, yeah, I'm torn on this. The amount of farming space on here is amazing. It is just, there is so much of it to play around with. And as I said, on a multiplayer setup, I think that would work really, really well if what you're looking to do is have a map that is, for the most part, a blank canvas for your farms. We're seeing more traffic now. I'm wondering if the sparseness of traffic is to do with it being a 4X map. And we have, yes, the sawmill up here. So again, interesting thing for me, this is just a sell point. This isn't any kind of production facility here at the sawmill. We've got Noah here, which is good. Is this, I don't know if this is a custom construction, a custom one for this map, or whether this is a standard base game one, but yeah, it's just a sell point rather than having a production in. And the interesting thing is, there being no productions at all on here, that means we don't have a BGA either. So yeah, you've even got to, if you want to do stuff with silage, you're going to have to place your own BGA on this map as well. So the barrier to entry to some of the farming stuff you have to do on here is quite high, because you don't even have a, well, I don't know if there is a sell point for silage. Yeah, we've got Grain Company and Rafson. So yeah, there's just sell points for silage, not anywhere to process them in a BGA or anything. So you are going to have to place your own BGA for it. Let's check our map again, see which way we want to go. We do want to go this way because we want to cut back across to the road and hit that area about field 196. So we want to take the next left. And oh wow, it's an interesting map, this one. It feels, I don't want to say uniform, but it feels very samey as I'm driving around it. There's it's a very large area with a lot of very similar stuff around it. And yeah, the game, I think for me, I would end up wanting to have a little bit of variation, but there's nothing massively that stands out. The detail is lovely, and there's obviously been a lot of care and attention put into it, but it is also feeling, as I said, a little bit sparse. So this is a sell point and a purchase point. What is this a purchase point for? We've got a bit over here. Oh, this is a warehouse, and I'm very, very pleased to see this. That is fantastic to have a warehouse in here. It's not a production, but it is a warehouse, and you can buy stuff on this map in this. I like that a lot. Yes. Absolutely brilliant. Very, very pleased to see a warehouse on this map. I think that is, to me, that is with modern with FS25 very much a thing that I am very happy to see. Absolutely brilliant. We've got an IKEA shop here. And again, this I think is just a straight up sell point. Yeah, around the back here. So that's quite nice. Again, just a sell point in the middle of the area. Lots and lots of sell points on here. That's the thing. It's got plenty of places for you to sell your crops and sell your goods. And it does, most of these places do also take stuff that you can create. So if you do put productions in this map, you do at least have sell points for them, which is really good. I would be more worried if you didn't have that kind of stuff. I would just like the ability or for them to be in, and I think it's just it would add a little bit more character to this. But there's nothing on here that stands out as making this map unplayable or anything like that. But it does. It's one of these things that seems a little bit weird for me, and I'm trying to put through my head now the play style that this fits, and I just keep coming back to this multiplayer where you need a lot of space and you're looking to build your own farms. It feels very much like a map for that, which is good. I mean, those maps can be a lot of fun. We got another supermarket up here. We've got an Aldi this time, and this is I know there are two types of Aldis. There's Aldi Sud and Aldi Nord, and I know this is the one. This is the one that isn't that well known outside of Germany. And I can't remember which one that is, but yeah. So that is placed up here. So actually the other advantage of these sell points being placed where they are is if you set up your farm somewhere on this map and you don't want to drive quite so far to sell stuff, there's a sell point that's not too far from you. You know, they're dotted around the edge of this map, and you don't have to drive quite so far in order to go and sell your wares. So that does make that a little bit easier as well. I will say, driving around this map, this is a well-constructed map. I've not seen anything broken or floating or sort of that looks out of place or wrong, which is good, especially on a map this size. The amount of work that must go into placing everything correctly and making sure everything is where it should be must be absolutely incredible. I've heard before, you know, that it takes 500 hours to do a standard size map. Doing one 4 times the size must be so much work, and I can kind of understand the uniformity of the map in general from that. You know, you're able to then not have to worry so much about it, and despite that uniform look everywhere, there is a lot of variation. Coming up to the edge of the map again, I wouldn't have immediately known unless I was looking for it at the edge. And we've got a big facility here. Oh wow, this must be some sort of grain mill sell point. It's around the other side, I think. The sell point itself, yeah, is in here. And this, again, this is kind of where I think having a grain mill production or something like that in the map would have fit really well. And you've got a bale sell point there. Oh, you know what? I'm now driving around the edge of this map, and with the sparseness of the placement of stuff and the space, I would love to have seen the various production facilities dotted around the edge of the map like this. That would have been absolutely awesome. It really would. The sell points being there is good, but I think I'd have been really pleased to have seen that. But they are the placement of everything is good anyway. Where are we going now? We want to head this way and back up towards where we started. Not taken me that long to drive around this map, amazingly. 4X maps can be quite difficult to do these first looks on. You do not get to everywhere. And that's the thing. The fact that I've managed to pretty much drive to all of the places of interest within the sort of half-hour time span that I like to do these videos in is pretty amazing. And again, that kind of talks to the sparseness of the stuff on here, is that you can get around all of those places of interest on a 4X map in that kind of time. Really does show that it is a little bit sparse. As I said though, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but there are things that in maps for FS25 I am looking for, and yeah, this is missing some of it. Is it a bad map? Not by a long shot, though. I do have to say it is very nice. It looks nice. It drives well. The roads are nice. It's It's big is the other thing. Really, really big. Now I have driven past where I was trying to get to, which is the thing. This is the trouble. It is that uniformity kind of makes me has worked against me here, in that I wasn't able to immediately tell where I was on the map, and as a result drove past exactly where I was wanting to turn. So we've got field 43 on our left here. It's a field that we own. If we can get under the trees there. So yeah, we've got that field there to our left. Trying to move the camera not too fast because I don't want to give people whiplash. And then into here, we've got, I think, our farmyard. Or is this a sell point? No, that's a sell point. Ah, this is Raftree. This is where you can sell your silage. So tip point for silage, bales. So yeah, there's a good variety there. Do we not have a farmyard? That's an interesting conundrum. I can see the harvester, I think. Yeah, we will go up here. Is this our farmyard up here? I thought that large cluster of bits there was possibly going to be our farmyard. But I can see a harvester marked up top here. So let's head down here. And what do we got in here? Yes, this would appear to be our farmyard. And oh, wow. Okay, so I think that kind of sums up my feelings about this map. That is very basic. I don't, is there even a farm? There's not even a farmhouse. So what do we got? We've got a yeah, we've got 2 tractors, a combine harvester, a cultivator, a seeder, a trailer, and a header trailer, and storage for our stuff. Otherwise, there's nothing else here. Wow. So yeah, this very much sums up my feeling on this map. This map is a blank canvas. This map absolutely is a map for you to go in and build up to being a farm that you want, and putting in the productions that you want, and all of this, and it feels very much like it's set up to be a blank canvas for a multiplayer. In fact, that's where I sort of sit with this. With these build areas, which is what this is. This isn't a farmyard. This is a build area. There are 5 open spaces for building, and that suggests to me there are spaces to build 5 farms on this map. And yeah, so this very much is a multiplayer, start from scratch, build your own farm map. And it feels like that. The sparseness of it is very much like that. I'm gonna check our vehicles quickly, just check that we got these are what we have in New Farmer. So we've got the Challenger, we've got the Farm Tech trailer, we've got the Great Plains solid stand seeder, we've got the John Deere 3650, we've got John Deere 980, Lizard pickup to 2017, which is the one that I bought in order to do the map tour. And then we've got the Massey Ferguson combine, header, and header trailer. So yeah, you start with very little equipment. You start with a decent amount of land, I want to say. So you start with 43, which is worth 322,000, 39, which is worth 330, and 38, which is worth 275. Very interesting that you don't start with 40 or 41, which surround your initial starting area. Can we see these other placeable areas at all? I can't easily, so I don't 100% know where those are. Yeah, it's an interesting map, this. It's a pretty map, and it's a map that should play very well, but it is a little bit thin on some of the content. And if you're after a map that is a blank canvas for you to go in and to put that content in yourself, I think this is a great map for you. And if you've got 4 friends who'd like to go and do the same, it's an even better map for you. So yeah, if that's what you're looking for, I would go check this map out. I think it's a well-made map. I think it's well worth the 5 stars on the mod hub, so you should go check that out. Go rate it well. And I am going to leave this here. So all that remains is for me to say
thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.